Greetings, citizens of the internet! You can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome back to my extremely riveting Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team. In the last episode, we went to Silent Chasm to find Shiftry, and then he was taken by Zapdos to Mount Thunder. And in this episode, we're going to Mount Thunder to confront Zapdos. But first, let's go outside.
Good morning, Indigo. Did you sleep well? Okay. We should be heading to Mount Thunder to do the Shiftry rescue, right? But Alakazam said we should be properly prepared before we try. What should we do? We can go to Mount Thunder right now or later. It's up to you. But anyway, let's do our best like always.
And now for a shopping montage. Now that that's done, let's talk to the NPCs. Shiftry was abducted. That's shocking news. That's not very interesting, Lombre. Is that right? Shiftry was taken away to Mount Thunder. I wonder what that place is like. It sounds rather horrible. Oh, me? I couldn't possibly go rescue him. I'm glad to see that you're back safe. I didn't realise that talking to anyone in this conversation would always begin with Snubble.
Thank you, but Shiftry is in trouble now.
I wonder which one is the one we rescued and the one that asked us to rescue her friend.
Shiftry came and rescued me. I hope he is safe.
Okay, let's go to the dungeon now. Also, during the shopping montage, I bought a friend area called Mount Deep Green, and there is at least one Pokemon in Mount Thunder that lives in Mount Deep Green. But let's go and add Dismuke to our team, because he's always on our team. Am I going to be honest, this friend area kind of looks really flat as well. Like, look at that background. Isn't it amazing? Are those supposed to be trees? They look like dolly mixture things. Those, like, cylinder-shaped things from dolly mixtures. And also I'm going to show off bow planes, because why not? It has the same music, and it has a rainbow in the background, so that's pretty. But once again, the rainbow looks a bit flat. I understand this is a Game Boy Advance game, but I honestly, Minish Cap looks a lot better than this game, even though it came out like the year before. I haven't played Minish Cap in a long time, by the way. Anyway, let's go to Mount Thunder now.
This is the floods of Mount Thunder. I wonder, is Alakazam's team already on their way? Zapdos, it sounds very tough. This is totally natural sounding dialogue. I'm shaking. I can't be scared now. Our objective is simple. I said simple. We're rescuing Shiftry. Indigo, let's try our best.
It's like kind of reminds me like in Tails in Sonic 06. I'll do my best. First of all, does anyone else think that this music sounds like Carol of the Bells? I've already said this back in my Klonoa Let's Play, but it just sounds like Carol of the Bells. You know that Christmas song that goes dun 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 dun, and so on. And it's all really quiet. And anyway, as for the Pokemon here, there are a surprising lack of electric types, which on one hand, like, feels a bit boring, but between like episode 8 and episode 9, I was thinking about how this is a bit more interesting than Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon, where like most dungeons only have Pokemon of one type. Like, there's a dungeon called Mystery Jungle. You'd expect to find lots of grass type there, but nope, it's 100% poison types, including Trubbish, which should not be found in a jungle. I just don't like how Super has a bunch of random dungeons that only exist for side quests and to have every Pokemon in them, but you can't recruit Pokemon through dungeons anyway, so it just feels like those dungeons are kind of pointless. And it feels like that every side quest has a different dungeon. I know that's exaggeration, but it does feel like that. And also, this game's plot is structured like a Saturday morning cartoon, because every episode's like, it's episodic. It's like really episodic at first. I said every episode, but like every day begins with you like finding out another problem and you have to go and rescue a Pokemon. It's kind of like that Paper Mario structure that I like as well. Although, except not really. Like I like how the Paper Mario structure is: you go to this place, you meet a new race, you solve their problem, and it's all really creative and stuff like that. Although I like Paper Mario, but I can't really get into it as much as other people do. Like, I don't know, Super Paper Mario feels really bland in a way I can't explain. That's probably because I watched an entire Let's Play of it first, but I just felt that even when I saw it. I mainly like watch Sugar Conroy's Super Paper Mario Let's Play, because like I've known about it for I've known about like a plot twist in that game for years, and I just wanted to see it like play out finally. But like for some reason, like the way they handle that plot twist is like kind of really vague, to be honest. I think I've talked about this before on my channel actually. And also, in this Let's Play, I'm having really bad luck with auto-generated thumbnails again, because I use auto-generated thumbnails if you didn't notice. And because like it's just like in Kirby's Dream Land 3, because in Kirby's Dream Land 3, almost every auto-generated thumbnail I got was either of a map screen or like an iris transition. You know, when like a circle covers the screen, as you get transition from one area to the other. And in this game, almost every auto-generated thumbnail is me either outside of the base or opening a menu in a dungeon. Also, I'm going to check the recruitment here. And Weedle and Pidgeotto. Haven't seen a Pidgeotto around here. But that reminds me of that theory that the legendary birds are like super evolutions of the various bird Pokemon. Oh, which basically... Okay, so in their review... not in review. In one of their videos, the Dex came up with this theory that legendaries are like super evolutions of Pokemon. Well, I don't really put that into my head canon. It would make for an interesting theory, at least. Not interesting theory, interesting fan fiction. And like they were talking about mainly like how Manaphy was like a super evolution of Fione, and the legendary birds were super evolutions of legendary beasts were super evolutions of the evolutions. It makes me wonder what would legendary beast versions of the other evolutions look like? Because I've mentioned this before on other websites, but still. And by other websites I mean Pokemon Showdown, but also they mentioned that they compared Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres to Pidgeot, Dodrio, and I can't remember, and Fearow, that's it. And I remember once bringing that up somewhere, and someone like also said that they said they had a theory that the legendary birds of Pidgeys were exposed to elemental energy or something. By the way, why are Fire, Ice, and Lightning always like a trio in lots of things? Because Fire and Ice usually beat each other, and then Lightning is just kind of there, like it's like that in Ocarina as well. And there's another element, Wind, which beats Lightning because reverse Pokemon logic. And also, I've recently started thinking about how, since I have this fancy Elgato capture card, which I got back in September, and you learn Metal Claw as well, because you're a steel type, but Iron Head doesn't exist yet, unfortunately. Also, why is Iron Tail considered unviable, even though it has like slightly more accuracy than I was facing the wrong way than like Focus Blast, which is considered viable and competitive? Is it because Steel is a poor attacking type and it has less power? Probably. And then Fairy happened. Okay, seriously, like Ampharos is 2 tiles away. Why is this not working? But like, since I got this fancy newfangled capture card thing a few months ago, I recently occurred to me that I might as well use it for reviews. But the problem is, I don't know what games to review, because like, I don't want to do reviews just for like the sake of it. I usually make reviews when I have like something to say, and there's a lot of reviews I feel like redoing, like Cars 2, which I might actually do a riff video on, or Kirby's Dream Land 3, or The Last Wild, or Gates to Infinity. But the problem is, I don't have any games that I can play on Wii U or PS4, because I have a PS4 that I barely play. Probably next time I'll play it will be when Spyro Reignited Trilogy comes out. And I've run out of PP on Vine Whip, and I almost forgot they had Poison Powder, wow. But, the problem is, I can't just review things on a whim. I have to, like, have something to say about it. And I don't, like, I was considering redoing my Kirby's Dream Land 3 review, and I wrote a bunch of notes for it, and then I realised that the whole thing was just pessimism and, like, nitpicking it to death. Because I just kind of got annoyed at the idea that all Kirby games were absolutely amazing and stuff like that. It's fatigue. And also thinking about Cars 2 just kind of stresses me out because it's been burned into my memory ever since October of 2016. And I just burned myself out on that movie, basically. And, like, I know it's a bad movie, and I sometimes worry that people will, like, use me not hating it as an ad hominem attack against it. But I just can't bring myself to hate that movie because so many people already have hated it, and I find it hard to dislike things. And I need to come up with a nickname for this Gligar. Let's go with Batman because I couldn't think of anything better. And there's that episode of the anime with Gligar Man, who's a parody of Batman. And I also recruited the Gligar here on my previous play for a Blue Rescue team. Except I didn't really nickname any Pokemon there because I wanted to be like it to be like fitting with the in-game logic that only the human has their own name. But this is a Let's Play, so I decided to make it more personalised, which is also Sugar Conroy's reasoning for why he nicknames Pokemon in Let's Plays, but he never does that when he's actually playing the actual games, and I do have Max Link. And also, as I said in my Klonoa bonus video, I've gotten back into I've gotten back into Zelda recently, and because, like, not my favourite Zelda game, but the Zelda game I think about the most is Spirit Tracks, but also I've recently become a kind of observer of the Thomas the Tank Engine fandom, and like for the past few days I've finally realised something that's been at the back of my mind for years. When I was really little, Thomas the Tank Engine scared me. Like I vaguely remember watching it. I can definitely remember the beginning of the theme song because everyone does, and I definitely know who some of the characters are. And I like clearly remember seeing Thomas and the Magic Railroad when I was little because I had it on DVD. But promise I cannot for the life of me remember any specific episodes, but I have been told by other people that it scared me. And when I was little I had this knob light switch in my bedroom, and it used to scare me because it made me think of Gordon coming towards me, and for some reason, and like at dark. And like so I was thinking about this for the past few days, and I think I figured out why Thomas the Tank Engine scared me when I was little. Because like I can definitely remember that Diesel scared me when I was little, and I saw some clips of Thomas and the Magic Railroad in the video, and it just like, and they certainly rang a bell. So my theory is that I saw Thomas and the Magic Railroad when I was little, and Diesel scared me, and that kind of turned me off the actual Thomas the Tank Engine show, which doesn't explain why I was scared of the light switch, but not the light knob in my room, but still. But also, I kind of went to rewatch Thomas and the Magic Railroad for the laughs. I have never seen a Nostalgia Critics review of it, by the way, but I have seen the generic song, and I know he makes a joke about synchrovoxing in it. Because I'm a bit worried it might, partially because I have no idea if I even still own my copy of it, but also partly because I'm worried it will end up being Cars 2 all over again, and I'll end up liking it unironically and just feeling bad about myself for a bit. Bottom line is that I like trains, and there's quite a lot of Nostalgia Critic reviews of things that I watched in this little that I haven't watched because I just worried I might feel ashamed of myself, like Fern Gully, and I think he's reviewed Care Bears the movie too, A New Beginning. Nostalgia Critic's not really kind of my reviewer anyway. I kind of prefer reviewers who are more like focus on analysis rather than comedy, which is why like one of my favourite game reviewers is Exo Paradigm Gamer. And they also don't like reviews that just like summarising everything that happens in the whatever they're reviewing. Like, there's this lady who's doing this series of Spyro history videos, and she's like, the videos are like well presented, and she's a good person and all, but I just kind of find it a bit boring because she's just like, basically, she goes through like every single detail of the entire plot of the games and stuff instead of just expressing her opinions above all else, because that's how I prefer to do my reviews. That's why I sometimes just don't talk about like important things at all. Like I barely talk about the gameplay in my Spirit Tracks mini review in that one video because I just have nothing to say about it. I didn't want to force myself to find things to say about it, so I decided to focus on things I do have things to say about. And also Spirit Tracks' localization is a complete enigma because for some reason some bright spark decided that there should be 2 completely different scripts in the English version, and by completely different I mean some of the wordings in most of the proper announcement, all of them are different, which makes me wonder like which one was made first, because like they're similar enough, like some things have the same name and some sentences are identical, but like I've got to wonder, like was one of them like made first and then the other one was an edited version of that, but if so, why would they edit it? Or was it like there were 2 different localization teams, but like Nintendo told them that they had to keep certain things the same, or they had to call or certain things had to be translated this way. And I don't really know why they just randomly decided to do that with a Zelda game. And I've heard that Nintendo of Europe does all localization nowadays, and hey, using an attack boosting move after having your attack lowered, that's clever. But Nintendo, like, apparently Nintendo of Europe do localizations for all games this time. So, like, if they were to ever make a sequel to Spirit Tracks, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink with Nintendo, which translation would be canon? Also, my CPU allies that barely ever get to attack. And they always pronounce allies as allies out of habit. And they always pronounce status as status. And the elixir sound effect sounds weird. Curse of the Max Elixir. It's like Curse of the Crimson Elixir, but not. Because there's this guy I watch who does videos about speedruns. I almost forgot what they're called. He was doing a live stream with Fullmetal Alchemist to Curse of the Crimson Elixir the other day. And we're at the midpoint now. And I didn't really watch much of it because it was late at night and I didn't really have any, it didn't really interest me that much, but it was a game that exists. But anyway, we're in the midpoint now. In the midpoint there is a Kangaskhan rock you can save. Unfortunately you cannot store here for some stupid reason, even though that's the whole symbolism behind the Kangaskhan rock. And you can't actually die until Gates to Infinity where they get rid of Kangaskhan. Oops. Also, when you pass the midpoint, any Pokemon you've recruited in the previous levels will not leave your team if they get defeated. And the next part is really short, but it can be quite tricky. And also something a bit stupid is that Gligar can't learn any ground or flying type moves by level up in Generation 3. And there's still not like a reliable physical flying type move for Pokemon that don't have beaks. And like, why is flying just feels like honestly kind of like one type that Game Freak just neglects a lot. And there's a lot of gummies here. Oh, I forgot Dismute was holding an orange berry. I was about to give him one. It is quite slow when there's lots of enemies in a room because you just have to wait for everyone to take their turn. It's just really frustrating. Who would like a yellow gummy? The person, either Dismute and what's her name? Peril would like mine. That would like it the most. So I'm going to give it to Peril. And I'm going to give the Skygar. I thought it was a blue gummy. I'm going to give that to Gligar then. Or Batman. I forgot we called him that already. What's Also, I like how these Pokemon often learn two IQ skills at once. And like, for some reason, like, a new recruit goes like before the previous recruit you had in the listing, for some reason. Like, Dismute was originally in slot 3, but now Batman is in slot 3, which has pushed Dismute to being in slot 4, and I don't know why. It seems a bit random, honestly. And also there's water here. It looks like very branchy. Also, there's supposed to be trees on the ground because it's not really conveyed very well because everything in this game is not to scale. And I just noticed that the spikes look like, in the walls look like miniature mountains as well. Yeah. And the reason why I brought up the music, Mount Thunder music in my Let's Play Klonoa was because there was music in the cutscene in that game called Nevertheless, which reminded me of Mount Thunder. You know, I talk surprisingly well in this video. I mean, like, often I expect before I record videos, I imagine myself, like, saying things. And usually I just, like, after the video's over, I realise that there was a bunch of things I forgot to say. But here I've said everything I want to say, just differently worded to how I imagine. Also, Growlithe has an ability, or Growlithe, or however you pronounce it, has an ability called Flash Fire, so don't bother using Fire-type moves, and its other ability is Intimidate, which has a chance of lowering physical moves. Lowering the power of reducing the damage taken from physical moves. I'll take that eventually, when used in like a 1-tile radius of the Pokemon. And here's the pink gummy, it's for poison types. It always confused me. And there's a purple gummy for ghost types. And the gold gummy for psychic types, which always confuses me. And it's another Gligar. Let's see what else I can recruit here. And by the way, Gligar's friend area is Mount Deep Green. That's why I could recruit one. I wasn't planning on recruiting a Gligar, but I thought I might as well buy Mount Deep Green because I can afford it. Peril is paralysed, which means that she can't use moves. I've already gone over this before. And also in this game, there are no like immunities, so like Aron and Dismute took like barely any damage from a poison type move, but it still did damage. And so instead of not, doesn't affect it, it has little effect. They changed this in Gates to Infinity, but abilities that make a Pokemon immune to a certain type of move will always negate the damage. I'm gonna eat this gummy myself because why not? It took a bit long for the buttons to respond though. It seems to like this gummy. Its IQ went up significantly. It's a white gummy. No, wait, the white gummy is for ice types, not normal types. That's the grey gummy. Duh. There's a lot of gummies here. There's quite a lot of gummies here, actually. So this has been a pretty smooth session, all things considered. Of course, the last time I said that the video was an absolute nightmare to edit because I just took it, because like it was in the episode of Klonoa where I did Vision 6-1, and I couldn't get my commentary aligned with the footage at all, so I had to like at the end split up the commentary into loads of sections and cut out all the parts where I wasn't talking just to get it to all fit, and I had to like redo the level because I just couldn't think of what to say at first. And I also regret, like, in the first episode of Klonoa, like, I did it one time, but then like the commentary sounded absolutely awful because I thought the boss would be next, but it's not. Oh, it is next. What am I talking about? I'll continue this after the cutscene.
This is the summit. Hey, Zapdos, where are you? We came to rescue Shiftry. Come out. Wah!
Are you Waluigi now?
I warned you. I have no mercy for meddlers. Not scared. You don't frighten me. I don't have a stomach ache. Hey, Zapdos, release Shiftry. We're a Pokemon rescue team.
You must be determined to utter such words. Then you shall answer. To my great and righteous fury. What I was saying earlier is that I regret in the first episode of Klonoa, basically I recorded it twice. The first time I did it, I basically did the entire video, but then I thought it was a good idea to put noise removal over the commentary and Audacity, which just sounded absolutely horrible, so I re-recorded the video. But then at first when I did the level, I got up to the part, the part just before Baloo, and I just had no idea what to say, so I restarted it. But like after restarting it, I skipped the cutscene, so I completely ruined the whole effect where the intro with the windmill song plays in the cutscene, and then it like transitions seamlessly into the gameplay, and I thought that was quite a cool detail, and I kind of ruined it. Oh well. Yeah, I really don't like some of the early episodes of Klonoa, or the early episodes of most of my Let's Plays, actually. I'm definitely getting better, though. And I think I should get Batman to do something, because he's just standing there at the moment, behind me. Now, I think that Gligar should be a poison type, because it learns a lot of, a lot of poison type moves, like Poison Sting by level up in this game. And it's also based on like a poisonous scorpion fly, and has like a poisonous tail and has immunity for its hidden ability in Generation 5, and then its evolution gets Poison Heal. Granted, if it was actually a poison type, it wouldn't be able to use either of those abilities, but it's like still associated with poison. So maybe it's like supposed to be an honorary poison type in the same way that Lugia is an honorary water type. And Lily Banana. And Zapdos is done. Yeah! I can't do bird noises. I should have played the voice clip over that. What is going on? Well, I can't.
You want more? I'll take you on.
Enough! That's enough fighting. I've calmed down. Take Shiftry back. You kids, you've impressed me. But things won't be this easy next time. I will go all out next time, so you'd best be prepared. Until then, you'd better hone your skills. Well then, bye, Felicia. It was like Shiftry being stalled in the clouds or something.
Look, there's Shiftry. Are you okay?
Yeah, somehow I am. I still sound like Batman.
I'm glad you're safe.
But that was an eye-opener. Driving off that Zapdos. That's totally natural sounding dialogue that doesn't sound stilted at all.
I agree. You're awfully strong for a plain bull.
I sensed it when we first met. Perhaps you aren't a Pokemon, are you? Dun dun dun!
Wow! How can you tell that? But you're right, Indigo isn't a Pokemon.
I said Pokemon properly again.
Indigo is a human.
What? A
human?
Is that possible? Can something like that happen?
Indigo doesn't understand very much either. Indigo woke up one morning here as a Pokemon and doesn't remember anything about... Oh, wait! Lombre said something in the square. He said Alakazam knows everything. Alakazam, could you figure out why Indigo became a Pokemon?
I told you that Lombre saying that Alakazam knows everything was just a rumour. No, I can't determine that.
Oh, I thought you would know.
However, there is a way for unveiling the truth.
Oh, really? How?
That wasn't very well enunciated. Make way to the Hill of the Ancients. There, you will find a Pokemon that stares into the sun all day. A Pokemon who is said to see into the future. Xatu is his name, not X82 as I used to think it was pronounced when I was little, and I don't know why I said that in Alakazam's voice if that was supposed to be an anecdote. He should shed light on your puzzling friend. I did quite like Alakazam's voice.
Okay, we should go see Xatu. Indigo, let's go! Off to the Hill of the Ancients. We can't waste any time. Let's go back quick. Shiftry, you too. Let's hurry back.
Yeah. I guess we should.
Indigo! Don't you stand there, let's go home.
Alakazam, I know you.
I don't think you're completely ignorant about this. You know something, don't you?
There is something that concerns me, but it should go unspoken for now. For their sake. I would not like to say. The next morning. Next time in my extremely riveting Let's Play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red Rescue Team, we shall be going to the Hill of the Ancients. Until then, stay interesting!
Thank you.